Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Season 5, Episode 25 of The Twilight Zone.
Masks.
Masks indeed.
We all wear masks in life.
Masks,
sometimes
the elderly,
literally.
Wills.
Sometimes masks wear you. Scene.
This episode felt like half a Twilight Zone episode.
It did, actually,
It didn't seem like it had the, I'm like, okay, that's obvious. Their faces are going to turn. I'm like, are you going to steal their youth? Like,
yeah, like
what is in it for you?
What's the thing?
Do you just like to, he's like the ultimate curmudgeon where he's like, nah, I want to die and fuck you over.
Yeah, well, those elements I kind of like that whole thing.
Yes, the seed planting is what threw me, though, when he's like to the doctor, I'll see you tomorrow. Yes. Like, I was like, okay, he's doing something that's going to be prolonging his life supernaturally. Yeah. I thought also that at the end, the money's going to go to Jeffrey, his, manservant guy or something. I thought it was going to reveal, that he's, a voodoo guy or something.
Okay.
Because I was like, where did he get this stuff? How did he obtain this
was it in New Orleans? Where was it? Where he was like, yeah, right? It was in New Orleans, I think?
Yes.
So he's like, I went downtown and got some masks.
See, apparently doesn't leave the house, though.
Yeah, so, I remembered this episode, I think. Mm-hmm. The minute I saw the mask, I was like, oh, and I already and I don't know how much of that went into me knowing exactly what was going to happen before it happened.
I think, but I did not recall this episode, but it was painfully obvious.
Exactly.
What was going to happen. With airs of the ugly people from the pretty girl thing, that same kind of makeup.
We've tried 10,000 surgeries and she's still a hot bitch. Yeah, that one. That's my
still a hot bitch.
God, doctor. Oh, it's incurable. She's smoking. Yeah, no, I totally, because that part is so obvious, you don't really have, so you are naturally waiting. What's the thing gonna be, though? And it turns out that is the only thing. That's what you're getting at, right?
But what I wonder, too, is, what might have made it a little nicer was, it had to be till exactly midnight, right? And the vain or granddaughter was I can't bear. It's 3 minutes to, I can't bear. I just have to take it off. And the mother's going crazy. I gotta take this shit off. Blah, blah, blah. I would have loved if one of them took it off, and because they didn't obey, they didn't get polluted.
Right.
The old vanity saved you this time, Claretta. Something like that.
Right. Like one person's like, I don't care about the money. I'll just die a filthy whore.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, she's an idiot. More for us. Ha ha ha. And now they're these monsters or whatever.
Something like that would have been a nice added twist.
This premise has a lot to go or whatever. I also thought it was super weird. It's so obvious because it's so forced. If they had a weird tradition of wearing masks anyway, and he was like, this year I have special masks, dun dun dun, and it's this weird thing. It's crazy to me that they would leave these masks on like that. I understand that.
Well,
I understand that they want the money, but the whole thing is so weird. If I offered you a mansion
to wear a mask for 3 hours, you're gonna do it.
I know that, but the whole thing felt so weird and crazy that I didn't have I never had a doubt of what. And in my head, I'm like, I think their faces stay that way. I think that, and it's gross and lumpy and it's great or whatever. So that part
weird,
was
altered bags under the eyes are the weirdest part to me. Where like the weird noses or whatever, I'm like, whatever. I'm like, giant nostrils. Okay. But the bags under the eyes are like rolls of skin.
Like ripples.
That's where I draw the line here.
That's where it's too much.
Yeah. But if you're able to accept the fact that boy man is somehow the grandson of the guy he's the same age as.
Oh, that was really confusing.
I think you can accept anything.
I know.
What was confusing too is they all call him granddad or father or whatever, and I'm like, who is actually your kid?
Right.
Because it seems very obvious from the beginning that the woman is his actual daughter. Because how he's like, oh, you've been this way forever, blah blah blah. Okay. Right. That's your daughter. But then the way the son talks to him, I was like, well, he doesn't seem like a son-in-law either. He kind of seems like an actual son.
Yeah, father, you see. Huh.
And then I'm like, is this some weird incestuous relationship? Do they ever call the other one dad or whatever? I'm like, maybe they're not together.
You're reading far too much into this. I was just
weird.
I don't know who any of you are. I'm so confused. That was where I left it. I had no idea what was going on the whole time. Because yes, one of them goes like, oh, grandfather. And I'm like, wait, who? And then you came with them? But what's going on? Are you both his kids?
The two
Who's
kids
that,
are their kids, seemingly.
Yeah, something.
Very strange. Somebody definitely knows more than me is going to post in the comments. You idiot, obviously this.
The problem is that doesn't even matter, right?
No.
Imagine.
He's 48 years old. The father's 49 years old. old. The grandfather is like 96.
Right. Imagine like this gets the same treatment with like Get Out and Us, and like he makes a movie out of like this whole thing, right? Then the stuff that he called each person out on would like come back to haunt them in these interesting ways. The one chick would be looking in the mirror and clawing at her face and like kill herself somehow. Like everything would be this like it'd be this whole deep like thing or whatever. So I think unless that happens in your head when you watch this and you go, oh, the implications, it just comes off like you said, like okay, now we're getting started. What are these credits for? Oh no, like it feels this.
Yeah, it felt very strange. Like a lot of missed opportunities and dropped balls here, but I think mainly it's hurting from the being 22 minutes.
Yeah,
and I think this is old enough that maybe this wasn't a big like people didn't see it coming then.
I wonder. Yeah,
I don't see how you couldn't.
This doesn't rely on like us knowing the tropes and like the stuff that has changed in the years since then. I don't really think this falls into anything
that I'm like, oh, that's been done to death. It just seemed very obvious.
Well, and by season 5, be careful what you wish for or something like that should have been an audience expectation or something. So like, I love this premise. I like some of the acting, but yeah, it doesn't feel like a whole. I like your way of phrasing it. It does not feel like a whole episode. It feels like
I'm like, okay, that's the first half of the twist, and now the other part where I'm gonna be like, oh, snap, is coming, but it doesn't come.
Like you said, like you follow those characters, like his like manservant, butler guy has some weird angle or whatever. Yeah. Now that he's dead, I can do whatever I want. Turns out, or he like offers them, I can cure it if you do this. You have to wear this other mask, and then by midnight, but then only one of you can do that, and it's like betray. Like imagine all these crazy things you could do.
I wanted him to be youthful, or something, or even if his face turned into a skull.
Yes,
something.
They make a big deal of him taking off his mask.
Yeah,
and then and like that's the subversion is he's just him though, dead though, because that's what his mask was. But no, it should have been something interesting or something. Yeah,
it just felt like a letdown.
Yeah. Those masks though, very creepy.
Yeah,
I remember as a kid being scared by the mask. Yeah,
I like something about that mask. I like that weird creepy
the big oval pig face looking thing.
Yeah. There should be more like horror or something with that kind of mask.
We should see that shape.
Because the rest of them, I'm like, lumpy faces. Yeah. Whatever. But that one has like a weird like. It looks like how someone would like draw something really like I'm not really good at drawing. Here's my I drew you.
This is the closest I can get to a face. Yeah. Put it on the fridge. Yeah, it had shades of like in like Hellraiser, like the Cenobites and stuff have weird and like asymmetry and like lumps and stuff.
Pieces and just stretch them like you're made of clay.
Smudge their faces around and all that stuff.
I like that. And it made me think because of how big the nostrils and stuff were.
Yeah.
I was like, is it just painted black and I can't really detect it because it's black and white. It's not super high quality. Like how based on the shape of that nose and what her original face looked like, I was like, where is it in there?
Does it go into the?
Yeah, because everyone else's was like large and obviously filled the space. And while hers was large, the empty socket parts, I'm like, or maybe her nose is narrow enough that it is fitting right between the shallowness of those. It was something I was thinking about.
I would have liked if they could have like I said before, clawed at their faces a bit or touched it or moved it to like prove how real it was. But you couldn't do that because it was sculpted onto their face. So like whatever. Again, like a modern retelling of this in some interesting way, I think could have been.
The youngest girl was like she touches it ever so gently.
Yeah, exactly. She just vogues.
But good effects. I'm always impressed with what they were able to do in the '60s. I'm like, that's
and like I said, as a kid, that creeped me out. Something about that. I was like, ugh, what is happening here?
Practical effects always better.
Exacto mundo.
Yeah, so that's the thoughts on this episode. It's kind of half a Twilight Zone, a bit of a dud for me.
It's fine, yeah.
Fine.
Right.
All right, guys, let us know in this console what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.